Glorious day to you, my friends. Ikatiarahana Isaiah Takariata. I'm here at Chimney Rock, technically at exclamation point. It's Lake Lure down there. I can't even see anymore. I don't know if y'all can see it. But taking the majesty here. We're going to speak some light language. We're going to get some light codes. Sahuti taharnaha takucha aratahasa aya kataharia tahaskuha. Shashishia tarnaha takawahatara. Kusha awata artukucha arahisa. Isa atata arhanahe. Kusha hawara artuhusha. Isa hanara atakachiri arana aratakatiro. Urhawa arshahani tukuroho. Itahara aranahaya. Isha ariatukushkadawiriara. And I don't know if we can see the escarpment here, the cliff face. So let's jump over here for a second so you can verify I'm at exclamation point. Bang. Let's go that way. One of these days we'll talk about it. I'm supposed to talk about it today. About triggers, being triggered. And, as an empath, when you're feeling and you're dealing with somebody who's getting triggered, or as a practitioner, how do you deal with somebody who is being triggered while you're trying to help? Well, according to the law of attraction, or according to according to Abraham Hicks, the solution sounds simple, is you're experiencing contrast, and the solution is to gently get back into alignment. It's simply an invitation from your inner being that there's a different point of view, that with alignment you will see more ease. Each of us as a human has our triggers. We have our what we get upset about, what we don't like. In many conversations over the last couple of days, have been about triggering and being triggered. Yeah, I think I want to go this way. And get in some of that lake lure. So it started on Saturday on my drive up. At the halfway point, getting gas. There's a big convenience store. And went to the bathroom. And on the way back from the bathroom, ran into a lady, and she really had this look on her face like she was totally triggered by all the people that are in there and the no flow of where everybody's going, and it's just a big free-for-all there. And so I engaged her shortly in conversation. I just said, so there's a lot of people here, right? She says, oh my God, yes. And you want to hear the worst part is we're headed to Disney World. So this lady, I said, can you make any more bad choices? Jokingly. But if you know you're triggered by crowds, why are you headed to places that are crowded? Unless you can learn how to deal with it. Well, we can. And one of the license plates that I ran into today, RBA 1818, and it took me a little bit of driving before I got the message, which is relax, breathe, and align. And 18 is life, l'chaim. And so to elevate your life or to double the value of your life, experience less contrast is relax, breathe, and then you see you don't even have to try to align at that point because it's the gentle tuning of your vibration by focusing on relaxing and focusing on the breath that we return to our natural state. And we're releasing those triggers or what's being triggered. And it's the same thing when we're being empathic. At times it's really, really difficult to tell, am I feeling this? Or is the other person feeling this? And how can we not be triggered by somebody else's being triggered? And as a Reiki practitioner, they teach us in the earliest stages of Reiki is just that we just place our hands, we let the energy do the work, and we don't make any promises on what's going to happen, and we don't have any expectations, and it happens. And the client receives what they're supposed to receive, because Reiki goes where it needs to go and does what it needs to do. That tidbit of wisdom can help empaths. It can help practitioners. And at times when you really want to help somebody, it's easy to attach to the outcome of them feeling better. So, but when we get triggered, what can we do being triggered? You know, there's so many. That was just 717 on that chuckle. What can we do? We can breathe. We can take a moment. Whatever we need to do, you know, even if we walk away from the situation, that's a wise move at that point. Instead of staying in a situation and escalating it, you can say respectfully, hey, I'm gonna go for a walk right now. I'm gonna go cool down or whatever. And take whatever time you need. Talk to somebody. Maybe somebody's going to go on the walk with you. Maybe somebody who didn't trigger you. Being triggered is simply a form of contrast. And our inner being is saying, no, I didn't like it, but it's also talking to us as individuals. Our inner being is simply saying that we can view the situation differently. And one of the canned phrases that I learned a while ago is when somebody says something that can be triggering or engaging in the wrong way, you don't have to attach. That's an interesting point of view. That way we allow them to say whatever dumb shit in a judgmental way. We think of it as dumb shit. But if we simply say, hey, this is your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion, because I know I've got some crazy stuff that go through my mind. And I certainly don't want to be judged from other people on some of the stuff that goes through my head or some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth. But by being in alignment, we can get past it. Got some clouds. We can hopefully get past it, or we can not escalate the situation. That's a little village down there. This is such a gorgeous place, even when the sun isn't out. So apparently we are talking about being triggered and triggering Now, hopefully, none of y'all are actually intentionally triggering somebody else. But at times we get caught up in whatever conversation it is and we say dumb things. And we want to get a rise out of somebody to get a reaction. Again, it's our inner being. When we want to get a rise out of somebody, our inner being sees it differently, but our mind, our need for acknowledgement, our need for getting some response out of the other person, we're looking for that affirmation, that we're looking outside of us instead of from our inner being, for validation, for being seen, for judgment of our value. When we go within, when we meditate, when we simply breathe and let those thoughts come and go on their own, we can experience our true, authentic self. And we can experience our inner value, which is way more important than any external validation that we can ever get. That's letting love flow, allowing the love that's necessary in this now, letting God live through you, all those things. It's all the same thing. They can keep talking, but I think they made their point. So when we relax and when we breathe and focus on our breath, alignment happens naturally. It's the same thing we teach with Aquarian fire and holy fire. The holy fire is a non-egoic energy that comes from the highest source of consciousness. It always respects free will, and it's unlimited in power. It doesn't want anything for you. It doesn't judge you. Just like God. God does not judge you. Your angels don't judge you. They send you love. They don't tell you you're doing anything wrong. The holy fire doesn't tell you you're doing anything wrong. God does not tell you you're doing anything wrong. And the whole basis of the law of attraction that Abraham talks about is that you're not doing anything wrong. You're exactly where you intended to be in this here and now. And the source within you is pleased with you, love you. And that's the best part about the holy fire, this unconditional love. There are no conditions for God to send you love. There are no conditions that the holy fire is not going to send you love. There's no test to take. There's nothing to pass. The holy fire and your angels and God and your vortex is there for you. Your inner being is there for you. Our minds do the judging. Our minds do the judging of ourselves and others. Be easy on yourself and others. We're all experiencing the contrast. We're all in this experience for expansion. Expansion of existence, expansion of consciousness. There are no right answers. There are no wrong answers. You are in alignment or you are not in alignment. And when you're in alignment, you're experiencing the love of God. And when you're not in alignment, You're simply not feeling or experiencing the love of God. That's it. It's still around you. You're just not viewing it. You're not observing it. And you're not experiencing it. But you can, simply by slowing the breath and returning your focus to your source within, and allowing that holy fire to flow in, through, and around you in every way, and everywhere, and every when. Because then we stop thinking about all those other things that are causing our angst, that are causing the triggers and the escalation. There's no entrance fee into heaven. We may not remember our way because we're experiencing contrast. But that's what our angels are for. They say, hey, over here. There's no judgment with them saying over here. They just shine the light and say, hey, this is the light, dude. So let's wrap up. No more light codes. So I'm glad we got them at the beginning. So I thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. And make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Hututa arhakara ishkanahisa sisia ashahatiyata kushahanata tita karyatu ushahana isahaniaraka.